Oh, what's this now? What could this possibly be? Could it possibly be a slightly upgraded shitty webcam? Yeah, yeah, it could be. Yeah, it is. So this is my new Mac webcam. It's infinitely better than my old Toshiba webcam, so this is where my boring vlogs are going to be from now on. Now, I say boring vlogs very specifically to me because when I make a video, I try my very best to make it an interesting story or, skit or something. And admittedly, it doesn't always work, but I try. I think it's better than, just making a habit out of sitting down in front of the webcam and being like, well, today I had a waffle for breakfast. And then I went to the mall and there was this guy there and he was a really, really cute. But I mean, I didn't talk to him or like get his number or anything because that'd be crazy. But I totally looked at him and it was awesome. Like, I don't know, like to even imply that anyone gives a shit, I think is vain and conceited. So, that's hard for me. But I don't want to let you guys down. So I did my very best to come up with the most interesting story that I could think of that's happened to me as of late. It's really kind of more like a fun fact about myself. So let's give it a try, I guess. So I have this sort of weird phobia / anxiety about public transportation because the majority of my life my mother drove me around, and then I got my license so I can drive myself around, but I never had my own car. I still don't. And so when I started going to college out of high school, when I lived in the Sacramento area, I had to take the bus. And the thing about buses is that the bus drivers, okay, bless their hearts, they're very particular because they've done these bus routes 1,000 times. They do it all day, every day, and so they know what they're doing. And so when you get on their bus, they expect you to know what you're doing. But if you're a first-time bus rider, you might not know what you're doing because they have all of these things that they expect you to know, like how much to pay on that particular bus, when to get off, where you're going, when you have to switch buses, what the end of their line is, things like that you just might not know if you've never ridden a bus before. And so it's completely understandable because they've done it a million times why they might be a little bit particular, but if you don't know what you're doing, you're holding up their freaking bus route, man, and it's just, so like I said, it's explainable, but then I'd have these, like, anxiety attacks when I go onto the bus and I give them $2 and go to sit down, and they're like, it's $4, and I'm like, oh god, I'm so sorry, it was $2 on the other bus, like, it was just, like, sad, and so, yeah, that's why that is, but, so, I still go to school, but I still don't have my own car, like I said. And so I take the bus. And the other day I was going to the bus stop to go home, and I saw it just making it to its bus stop. And so I started running, and I totally twisted my ankle, but I kept going because I'm a trooper, okay? And so, but I just want to make this clear, you guys. I caught the bus, okay? I totally caught it. It wasn't like one of those scenarios in like a movie or cartoon where like the kid's like running to the bus stop and he's like, hey, wait, you guys, I didn't miss it, I'm here. No, it wasn't like that. The bus was stationary and I was there being stationary with it. I totally caught it, okay? Okay. So there, like I said, it's the go home bus. And so there was a whole bunch of people going onto the back with, like, their Clipper cards or something. It's so lame. And I could have snuck onto the bus with them, but I didn't because I'm a good person. I went to the front of the bus to pay my $1. So there was 2 people in front of me, and so they got onto the bus, paid their, money, and then went to sit down. To sit down. And so then I went to go step onto the bus, and the bus lady just looked at me and closed the fucking door. She just closed it, you guys. And that bus it only comes every once in a while, like every 30 minutes or something like that. And so I'm sitting there in this freezing cold San Francisco weather, like with no proper jacket because I'm dumb and because I always wear cardigans everywhere because this lady didn't like, I don't know, like my big front teeth or something. And so, it was just, I guess it was kind of good because I was able to like read my book, but the bus ride is like an hour anyway, so I could have read it on the bus, but instead I was freezing, and I had to tell my friends, I'm not going to make it to the beach, and they're like, how long? I'm like, at least an hour and a half, depending on traffic. They're like, wah. So, yeah, that's that. And I'm really sorry that it wasn't as interesting as I'm sure you hoped it would be. But I'll try really hard to do better next time. I promise. I hope this wasn't as awkward for you as it was for me. I'm sorry. I love you. Bye.